Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? Hey, it's Wednesday, about 7 o'clock my time. So, over here we done made that work day. Like, they done stressed us out. Boss been have you running around doing this, that, and the third. You know, Probably been a rough day for y'all. So, it's time for a liquor store run, man. So, hey, it don't matter if it's gin, it don't matter if it's hen. Whatever it takes to make you sin, we got it. So come on in. And we're going to get drunk on this Dallas Cowboys content together and talk about them damn Dallas Cowboys. So, on your way into the liquor store, though, man, I do have a few requirements. You know, of course, be old enough to legally drink. But, you're going to have to work your hands a little bit when you come through the door. I need you to go ahead and hit that like button for your boy. I need you to go ahead and hit that share button. Also, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will receive half off all the merchandise inside of the liquor store. So please, please, please use your discount while supplies last, because we got Eagles tears. We got some fine wine, some Cowboy readers, whatever you need, man, is on deck. Hey, Jameson Taylor, what's good with you? Regina Green, salute. I appreciate you tapping in, showing love to the channel. Kevin Calloway, what's up with you, my guy? Appreciate the love and support. And Jameson Taylor, hey, you were the first one in here. So, hey, salute to you for setting the tone and coming through them doors, man, to the liquor store. Also, man, I also need y'all to hit that Cash App for me. We're still doing the raffle for the Dallas Cowboy jersey. It's $5 per entry. We'll be doing that all the way up until the 31st. So if you want the opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choice, just hit the Cash App. It's $Hennythemoor. You see it floating at the bottom, like you're waiting to see your school name on a snow day, like back in the Gap. So it's at the bottom. You don't know how to spell it. $Hennythemoor. So if you want to win you a Dallas Cowboy jersey, hit the Cash App. Justin Kitchen, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in. Darren Sutton, what's good with you, my brother? Appreciate the love and support. So listen, man. So we're going to go ahead and get right to the content, man. That's what y'all here, folks. Let's jump into it. So Stephon Jones did quite a bit of talking today, man. He said, my Braves are fixing to play. Okay, so hey, salute to you, man. I know you love your Braves, so salute to them. So Stephon Jones, did quite a bit of talking today. He talked about, personnel, right? He talked about offensive line personnel. He talked about the prospect of paying some of our players. You know what I'm saying? So Stephon Jones is not like Jerry. Jerry Jones will tell you everything under the sun. He'll tell you about how his grandkids are doing. He'll tell you about what he dreams about. Remember, Jerry Jones was forthcoming. He told the entire world that he would think about another grown-ass man in the shower. So Jerry Jones will talk. He will say things that you do not want to hear sometimes. But, that's not really the MO of Stephon Jones. So, when you hear Stephon Jones go out here and speak and say these things, it make my ears perk up just a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. So, I got a couple of his quotes. And then I also got some other offseason news that we're going to break down together and, just talk about. Yeah, for real. Like Jerry Jones told the entire world that he used to think about Dez Bryant in the shower. And did not even sign the man back to the team. He told the entire world that Dez Bryant crossed his mind while taking a shower. Now, listen, there are a lot of people in my life that I love, that I cut for. I am not thinking about the mugs in the damn shower. I can tell you that much. So, I don't know what kind of time Jerry Jones was on, but, he said it. He said that shit. So, so let's take a look at one of these at the first comment. And this is actually one that we already looked at earlier today. And this is one, that's really common sense football. It's common sense football. So this is his comment word for word. It says Cowboys EVP Stephon Jones, executive vice president, our top 5 linemen are our top 5 linemen. Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Terrence Steele, Zach Martin. Really felt like if you're going to get your best 5 who have played in this league, those are our best 5. We'll see what happens from there. So what I take away from that, I know it's funny as hell, ain't it, Ruben? What I take away from that, though, is thank God. We've heard rumblings about position flex. We've heard rumblings about, this guy playing in this position, this guy playing in that position, musical chairs along the offensive line, maybe having to depend on Tyron Smith to be a swing tackle. With the way that he worded it, with the way that he said it, right? Because, things could change. He may mean it a different way. But the way I see it is, that should be your starting lineup come week 1. He said we'll see. I think the we'll see is dependent on injury. So if Tyron Smith, is healthy, my boy Fish 82 said I need a gallon of hen and a pack of sweets. Well, hey man, you in the right spot, man. You in the right spot. I got you on a gallon of hen. I will give you the player price though if you can prove it. You done slapped the shit out of a couple Eagles fans. Right, so I can get that to you for the player. I'll throw the sweets in, for free if you go ahead and slap the Eagles fan. So I'll give you half off on a gallon. I'll get you the sweets for free. That's a damn good deal, if I do say so myself. But yeah, man, in regards to your best 5, that's really what we've been saying. That's what I've said. That's what West Coast Cowboys said. That's what my boy Landlord from Alabama said. Like, those are your best 5 offensive linemen, especially since you did not go out of your way and address the offensive line early in the draft, right? So Tyron Smith, like, I know he has his injury issues. I know he's only played 17 regular season games in the last 3 years combined, right? That's a season worth of games in a 3-year stretch. Not very good. But when he does play, he is still one of the best offensive linemen in the National Football League. He's going to go into Canton with a gold jacket for playing at that position. And even though he has lost some of his athletic ability, due to, continuous injuries. Hey, I fool with you too, my boy. I fool with you. And I appreciate you for coming over and showing love to the channel, Fish. So, yeah, man. So, he's been robbed of some of his athletic ability. He's not Superman. Like he was a freak, when he came into the league. But he's still a very serviceable athlete. He still has, a well of knowledge at that position, playing at a high level. And the only issue is injury. So, I think because he is incentivized to play this season, because, he gets more money the more he plays, because they restricted his contract to keep him around, I do think it's right for them to give him the nod at the left tackle position. Hey, Cortavius Williams, what's up with you, my guy? I appreciate you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Hey, go ahead and hit that share button, man. Let them know the liquor store is over for business. And also, remember, man, I know you just now came in, but if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will get half off all the items in the liquor store, man. So, hey, I'm running a real good deal right now. I'm running a real good deal. You get $5 to a raffle. You can get half off of the liquor in the liquor store with a slap. I think I'm running some damn good sales over here, man. I'm running some damn good sales. So yeah, just tap in. But yeah, man. Tyron Smith is still one of the best left tackles in football when he's on the field. We know he probably will not play 17 games, but I don't necessarily need him to play 17 games. I'm going into this season not expecting him to play 17 games. But if he can give me double digit games in the regular season, and he can be present and ready to play, in all my postseason games, then I will gamble with Tyron Smith being my left tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always better for quality over quantity. You know what I mean? Like, we could have Tyron Smith as a swing tackle. You know what I mean? But a swing tackle is a fancy way of saying a backup. I need Tyron Smith, if he's able to play out there, mauling guys out there, protecting Dak Prescott. I need Tyron Smith out there if he's able to go. So, with that said, I'm not going to rewrite history. I was one of the main people trying to, lay Tyron Smith out the rest, put him out the pasture. Y'all remember that. I was one of the main people saying, like, hey, we need to go ahead and move on. Since the Dallas Cowboys did not do that, and since he is currently healthy right this moment, and he's the best option that I have currently on the team, like, I'm rocking with Tyron Smith at left tackle. I feel, and listen, Tyler, he came in, he played very well. he played very well, but he did not play well enough for me to say, I'm not putting Tyron Smith back out there. If Tyron Smith was still on this team and we work, and since he is not costing me that much money, I'm going to let him play. Tyler Smith, and this is the thing, you upgrade both positions by doing this. Tyler Smith is a better left guard than Matt Forniak. He's a better left guard than if you were to slap somebody like Josh Ball over there. And even though I'm really high on TJ Bass, I think that right this moment, Tyler Smith is a better left guard than him too. Right? He's a better overall player. He's played in the NFL at a pretty good level last year. Didn't really mess up. Excelled in the run game. So he showed me all I needed to see, to trust him to be on the opposite position. He said, fingers crossed if he goes down, kick Tyler to left tackle and play Asom at left guard, or keep Tyler at left guard and play Waletzko. And that's the thing. You have options. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dro Knows for tapping into the liquor store. You do have options. I would prefer, just to put Waletzko out there. I know Waletzko is not going to be the same caliber of player as Tyron Smith, but neither would Tyler Smith. And, I don't have to get weaker at two positions. I can just get weaker at one position. Because Tyler Smith, as good as he is a step down from Tyron Smith. And then Matt Forniak, if he was to come in, or if Asen was to come in and play left guard, they would be a step down from Tyler Smith. So theoretically, if I were to move Tyler Smith back out to left tackle after an injury from Tyron Smith, I would actually diminish both positions. Not to say that Tyler Smith is not good, but he's not as good as Tyron Smith. And then the guy that will be replacing Tyler will not be as good as him. So, there's two positions that took a step down when you could just take a step down at one position. You know what I mean? I expect Waletzko, to have growing pains. I expect him to struggle a little bit. I expect him to need a little bit extra help. Might have to keep the running back in and help him chip, whatever. But, I would prefer just taking a step back at one offensive line position than at two. You know what I mean? So if Tyron Smith was to go down, I'm hoping Waletzko is healthy enough and serviceable enough to play at left tackle so I don't have to move around my guy. Yeah, listen. And I'm going to say this, though. There are some guys, because this was not my favorite draft. You know what I'm saying? Like Fish said the draft was trash. It's not one of my favorite drafts. I'm not going to go. And listen, when I was initially out there, because we went out to the draft and covered it. When I was initially out there, I was not really happy with the way that the draft transpired. I love getting Mozzie, best one tech in the entire draft. Definitely think day one he can come in and make the team better, right? Because he is that big nasty you can put in the middle of the defense. He's going to help you stop the run, and that's the area that you struggled at for several seasons. So I was good with Mozzie. Y'all know how I felt about taking a tight end in the second round, especially a tight end that had a fourth round grade. So I was not very happy about that. However, I did like DeMarvion Overshown. I do like his upside. I do like him. Even though I think Fihoko was a bit of a reach, I think Fihoko went about a round too early. As an overall prospect and player, I like him. I like him a lot. Hey, shout out to Mickey for the $10 donation. That got you 2 entries into the raffle for the Dallas Cowboy jersey. So I appreciate the love and support. And if y'all want to be like Mickey and improve your odds of winning the jersey, just hit the Cash App. Or if you just want to support the show, you just want to support the content, that's cool too. The Cash App is $Hennythemoor. Also, if you want to support, tell a friend to subscribe, or go ahead and subscribe to the channel yourself. We're trying to grow, trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. And right now we're sitting at 800 and let me see. We're sitting at 823. So the channel definitely been growing, but a little boost would not hurt at all. So anything y'all can do to show love to the content, I appreciate that. I really do. Y'all don't know. It means the world to me. He said Deuce Vaughn. Yes, thank God. Because I think Deuce Vaughn is going to have more of a role than people think. But listen, back in terms of how I felt about that the draft, and we're going to move forward. Yeah, Mickey, we at 823 right now. We're at 823. Shout out to Landlord for posting. Shout out to West Coast for posting. So I like it. So which is better this year, offensive line or defensive line? This offensive line still need a lot of work. I gotta learn how to donate to send to you, send Landlord. Yeah, man, like to donate, all you got to do is hit the Cash App. My Cash App is $Hennythemoor. I'm not currently monetized on YouTube yet. That's why I usually receive it through my Cash App. But that's why we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can monetize my stuff, and y'all can start sending super chats and whatever y'all want to send. Super chats, super stickers. Y'all can send that once I'm monetized. But until then, the Cash App, $Hennythemoor is how you can send donations. But salute to y'all, man. I do appreciate the love. Don't forget our undrafted rookie free agent fullback. Yeah, I like Hunter too. So, there are some players on here that I like, but I think Asen Richards, I know a lot of people are very high on him. He's a project to me. He's a left tackle that they want to move to guard, that he had to work on his body, work on his strength to be ready to play, and I think he got drafted way too high. He had a 7th-round grade. Realistically, you have flipped him and TJ Bass, because TJ Bass is the guy that had a 4th-round grade, 5th-round grade, depending on who you ask. And then, he ended up being your undrafted free agent pick. I would feel a little bit more comfortable with that. But I think they reach with Asen. He has high upside, but I still think he's a reach because I don't think he'll be ready to contribute like that this year. And like I said on my earlier show, because TJ Bass, actually has more experience at left guard, has a little bit more strength at this moment. I think he'll be a better suited left guard day one. Not saying that he will be a better overall player when it's all said and done, but day one, I think TJ Bass is a more ready plug and play player on that side of the ball. But just to wrap this up, I like Mozzie. I like Overshown. I thought he was a reach, but I do like Fihoko. You know what I'm saying? So there's some guys out the draft I like, and then I love a lot of our undrafted free agents. I think our undrafted free agent class was better than our overall draft in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Said, Henny, what alcohol would you pair with homemade tacos? And listen, when you make Mexican food, you always need to make you a Mexican beverage. So I always say you need to get you some tequila, to go good with Mexican food. So I would say some tequilas, some Jose Cuervo, whatever floats your boat. But I definitely would go tequila with any Mexican dish. The Cowboys, I don't think that Overshown went where he was supposed to go. Overshown had a 3rd round grade, and he went in the 3rd round. But yes, like a lot of the other guys were that's a nice one to say too. He said just make some margaritas. Clifford Smith, what's up with you, my guy? I appreciate you for tapping into the liquor store and showing love to the channel, man. I appreciate that support. I really do. Also, I need y'all to hit that like button for me too, man. I got about 20 of y'all watching. I got about 14 likes. So, hey, hit that like button and support your boy, man. I appreciate that. But, yes, you want to put it like that, yes. Like, outside of Mozzie and Overshown, like, those were the two that went around where they were supposed to go. Fihoko went about a round too early. Asen went about 2 rounds too early. So, and you can't really say you're a 7th-round pick because a 7th-round pick is a 7th-round pick. I guess he went where he was supposed to go, but But we got a bunch of steals in undrafted free agency. He said, remember they took Travis Frederick in the 1st round. And he was graded round 3. Well, let's hope we have one. Let's hope we have a couple of Travis Frederick-like players in this draft then. You know what I'm saying? Like these are professional scouts. They might see and know things that we're not privy to. So that's sort of skews how we view it. But we'll see. I hope that's the case, and we gotta I hope that's the case, and we have a draft full of guys, that are sleeper picks that are going to blossom into great NFL players. That's all we can do at this point. All we can do. All right, but I think I got a little sidetracked. We were talking about his comments on the best five, and that is your best five. You know what I'm saying? Because Tyron Smith, as I mentioned, future Hall of Famer. Tyler Smith was great. If I'm not mistaken, he made an all-rookie team last year. So you definitely want him out there. He has Pro Bowl potential. Tyler Biadasz, and back-to-back seasons. Listen, he's not my favorite center, but he has back-to-back seasons where he graded out as top 10 in run block win rate amongst centers. So the last 2 seasons, Tyler Biadasz has been a top 10 center in the run game. So you know what? He's earned his spot. And even though I think that his Pro Bowl selection was more of a popularity contest thing, because casual don't really know centers like that, no damn way. You know what I mean? But he still made it. He's still top 10 the last 2 seasons in run block win rate. You want to run the damn ball, so he definitely gets the nod. Zach Martin, future Hall of Famer. I don't even need to jump into how cold he is. Like we know what Zach Martin brings to the table as a mauler, and as one of the Zach Martin. If you're talking about protecting your quarterback, he's one of the few guys you have that's top 10 in pass block win rate. Like he's one of the few guys that actually does their job in protecting Dak Prescott. So he definitely has to be out there. And then, of course, if Terrence Steele is completely healthy, there's not another right tackle on your team that would be better suited to play. So hopefully this is not lip service and he goes ahead and, he said, so where will OT Richards fall into this? He's not one of your best players. If he plays, that means somebody is hurt, and that means that he won the job. Because people aren't talking about this, but I do believe that there will be a bigger competition between him and TJ Bass. They have both of them pegged to be left tackles. And what people do not realize, TJ Bass, was number 1 in the entire NCAA the last 2 seasons in in the zone run scheme. And we're moving to the zone run scheme this season. So, matter of fact, I think I still got the graphic up here. Yeah, Zach and Mozzie gonna be a hell of a camp battle. I think I still got that graphic up here somewhere. Yeah, matter of fact, here it go. TJ Bass had a 93.6 run block grade on zone runs in 2021 and 2022. That was the best in college football. The Dallas Cowboys are moving to a zone run system. They already have somebody on the roster, that is capable of being elite in that scheme. So and I've already said this, day one, TJ Bass is more of the traditional build for a left guard right now. He's about a burger away from where you want him to be. In terms of raw strength, in terms of body type, in terms of size. I think he is more the prototypical left guard body, and he excels in this scheme already. So I think, maybe down the line, Asen Richards will be the better prospect. But like I've been saying, like day one, it's damn near tailor-made for TJ Bass to win. The only way that changes, is if Asen Richards goes out there and flat out outplays him when he gets on the field. Hoodlum, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? And believe me, player development is a real thing. Guys take astronomical jumps. But one of the reasons that they took a chance on Asen Richards so high is because he got astronomically better year in and year out. You know what I'm saying? He improved, not marginally, but he improved greatly, from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like he was not even really playing offensive line like that before he got to college. So his upside is there. I'm just saying, like day one, like TJ Bass is probably more of a plug and play player if it came down to it. Like the writing is really on the wall for that. Hoodlum, what's up with you, my boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. Hey, Hoodlum, go ahead and hit that share button for me, man. Let them know the liquor store is open for business. And hit that like button too, man. I appreciate y'all. So, yeah, so hopefully that's not lip service. Hopefully the best 5 actually does play. I've been saying for a very long time that is the best 5 the Dallas Cowboys can muster up. So it only makes sense. So if they really do that, hats off to them, because that is a sign they are moving in the right direction of actually playing common sense football and common sense roster, development. Hey, you'll like TJ Bass, man. Hey, Hoodlum, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Asim is no slouch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just comparing him to TJ Bass. Cause they'll be the 2 guys competing for a backup left guard role. I'm just letting y'all know how they stack out. If I'm not mistaken, Asim Richards played predominantly left tackle in college. Let me double check that. They both played left tackle, and they both are going to be moving to left guard. But I'm just trying to see what his snap counts look like. Yeah, see, he has only 49 career snaps at left guard in his entire collegiate career. So he is really in college he excelled as a left tackle. On the flip side, TJ Bass has over 700 snaps at left guard for his collegiate career. So I can understand why he might have the edge. Yeah, I can understand why he might have the edge. And listen, you'll like him because TJ Bass only allowed 3 sacks his entire collegiate career, and he only allowed 3 quarterback hits in his entire collegiate career. So in 3 years, he only allowed the quarterback to get hit 6 times, 3 quarterback hits and 3 sacks over the course of 3 entire seasons. So he didn't get drafted because of his overall athletic ability, leaves a lot to be desired. But as an actual football player, he's pretty damn good. I'm not gonna hold you. Overshown deserves an opportunity. If Jabril Cox can stay on this roster this long, you know what I'm saying, he definitely deserves an opportunity to play football for you. And I'm not trying to dog Jabril Cox, but I think Overshown is better. What if Overshown better than Clark? Then we got a good problem to have. We got a great problem to have. Because Overshown can play the big nickel too, because he has a safety background. So you theoretically can have all them guys out there on the field at one time. You can have Damone Clark, and you can have Overshown out there with LVE, or you can mix it up. You can have Harper in there and Clark, or Harper and Overshown in at the same time with LVE. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of hybrid players out there that can go out there and be on the field together. So we got a lot of interchangeable parts, and I love it. It keeps your defense multiple. It gives you the opportunity to do a lot of different things with a lot of different guys. And people just be talking about Overshown's ability to cover. They forget about his ability to pass rush. He had 4 sacks last season on limited opportunities to rush the passer. So I like it. He'll just be another, piece on the chessboard for Dan Quinn. And I do like that. But moving along, we're going to talk about some more comments made by Dollar Bill Jones. And this is from my trusted source, Clarence Hill Jr. Cover the Cowboys. Stephon Jones is not daunted. He had to use that big word. He's not daunted by the price tag for potential new deals for Dak Prescott, Trayvon Diggs, and CeeDee Lamb. Not pressed to get Dak done before Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Not worried about the market jumping again. They already bit that bullet the first time. So listen, even though he say he ain't daunted, or he's not concerned, he's not downtrodden, whatever words you want to use to describe his mood, Just because he does not fear paying all those guys does not mean that it is not a strategic move to go ahead and get the deal done. Like, even though you don't mind paying Dak Prescott after Joe Burrow, you come out cheaper by getting the deal done quicker. As we do know, each additional contract is going to raise the overall quarterback market. So everybody that gets signed before Dak Prescott is going to add a couple more dollars on top of what Dak Prescott is expected to make. And remember, before we talk about who's better and who's not, the market is what the market is. The going rate for a starting quarterback is about $50 million. Dak Prescott being a top 10 quarterback, being a quarterback with multiple playoff wins, multiple Pro Bowl selections, multiple franchise records, is going to be in line to get over $50 million. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Him and his agent has way too much leeway when they go to the table because there's no other viable option. And we also know that Dak Prescott has to get extended in order for the Dallas Cowboys to clear enough cap space to pay the rest of the players. Dwayne Brown, what's up with you, my guy? I appreciate you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button, man. Let them know the liquor store is open for business. And salute to you for the continued love and support, my brother. I truly, truly appreciate it. But yeah, so even though he says, they ain't tripping about getting the deal done, it makes sense to go ahead and get it done before the other guys happen. And, we know that Dak Prescott is probably going to be the first domino to fall. That's probably true. He said Damian Crow said the quarterback position needs its own salary cap. Because listen, eventually, man, the quarterback's going to be making like $70 million a year. Now, we appreciate you and everything you do over here, Dwayne Brown. We appreciate you, man. We really do. But yeah, eventually $60 million is going to be the norm. And then after that, $70 million is going to be the norm. And it's only a matter of time. Thank God, this TV money going to kick in. Thank God they're able to push the salary cap numbers all the way around the contract. They got dead years they can add to the end of the contract to absorb some of these salary cap hits. So there are ways that you can manipulate the salary cap in order to pay your quarterback. Because, I hate to give the Eagles any credit, but look how they structured Jalen Hurts deal. The first 3 years of that deal are going to be under $40 million. The first two are going to be under $30 million. So, you can structure the deals to make it palpable for your salary cap. And just to throw this out there, by giving Dak Prescott an extension, according to Over the Cap, you save anywhere between $26.2 million and $39 million, depending on how the Dallas Cowboys structure his deal. So you could clear anywhere between $26 million and $39 million in salary cap next season, depending on how you go ahead and structure it. So with that said, you theoretically clear enough cap space to re-sign CeeDee Lamb, to re-sign Trayvon Diggs, and to also give Michael Parsons his deal just by getting the Dak Prescott deal done. So, just mathematically, it is possible. You know what I'm saying? So, that's really why, he said what he said. He's not tripping about, the idea of paying them. They will have the money to do so. Also, if they wanted to get one of the deals done right now, they will have an additional $10 million after June 1st from the Ezekiel Elliott cut. Because Ezekiel Elliott was designated as a post-June first cut, the Dallas Cowboys will not get the money until after June 1st. So Zeke was able to lead the roster. They were able to clear a roster spot, but they will not get that money until June the 1st. So with that said, they're actually going to get another $10 million, and they already have about $12 million that they have not touched yet. So theoretically, the Dallas Cowboys come June the 2nd will have about $22 million in free cap space that they can use to either get an extension done with one of their vetted veteran players already, or to go out there and sign another player. So Dallas Cowboys got money. They got money, and they will have even more money when they get the Dak Prescott deal done. Just hopefully, you know what I'm saying, because even if they don't get it done first, let's say that Joe Burrow signs first and then Justin Herbert signs first. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He said no quarterback worth all that money. The market need to go down south just like in running backs. In 5 years, they're gonna be getting $100 million a year. I'll draft one every year. After 10 years, I'm moving on. You know, if it was that simple, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure other teams would do that. But, you know, we also know that there are 32 NFL teams, and then there's not 32 starting caliber quarterbacks. Like, there's really only like 14 or 15 that are really starter caliber in the NFL. So, you know, because I mean, theoretically, you know, if you wanted to keep a young quarterback, you know, and swap them out, you can. But you know, because of that, you know, you will not be able to guarantee your ability to compete. You know what I'm saying? You see it happen with the 49ers, but we also have to remember the reason that the 49ers have not gotten over the hump is because of quarterback play. So while I believe a team can be successful with a quarterback, you know, with limited quarterback play, you know, I think you need, you know, at least above average quarterback play to get it done most times. You know, there's been certain instances over the NFL where that's been, you know, that's been not been the case. You know, we all know that what's the boy what they played with the Ravens. We all know that he was not very good. We know that Brad Johnson was not very good. You know, there've been outliers, but for the most part, you need pretty decent quarterback play to compete. So because there's a supply and demand for quarterbacks, because there's only about 14 or 15 at any given time, you know, they are actually good. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Not many of them are that good. You know what I'm saying? Not many of them have all pro potential. Not many of them are in the MVP race. Not many of them can throw for 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns. So, you know, there's a very limited number that does that every year. So if you have one, you know, you got to pay him like you have one. You know what I mean? So I like, yo, Double R, what's up with you, my boy? I appreciate you tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. Thank you for the love and support, my guy. So yeah, theoretically, you know, you know, theoretically there might be a team down the line to try that, but really, you know, we seen a team try that, swapping out quarterbacks when they're not happy with it, and that was the Browns. The Browns swapped out quarterbacks like they swapped out draws, and they were horrible. So, you know, it's hard, and especially because there are veteran minimums in the NFL. You know, it's going to be hard to swap quarterbacks out like that and stay relevant. You got to think about it. Like, Daniel Jones is getting over $40 million a year. Nobody thinks he's a very good quarterback, but because he is at least a starting quality quarterback, he's getting $40 million a year. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's hard to try and swap quarterbacks out like that. Very hard. Yeah, Zach Wilson is a very good example. You know, people be like, Zach Wilson is a good example. Baker Mayfield is a good example. Carson Wentz is a good example. So even if you get, you know, great, you know, draft capital, like I'm gonna get the best quarterback in this draft, they still might not be shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, like, that's a gamble, and you know that's why a lot of teams just go ahead and pay the piper. Like, sometimes it's best to dance with the girl that you brought. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you know this quarterback, his tendencies. You see them in your offense for several years. You know how to make him better. You know who to put around him. You know what plays work for him. You know, there's a familiarity with it when you keep a quarterback around, and he's able to grow with the offense, and he's able to grow with his offensive personnel. Yeah, cheaper to keep her. Hey, what's up with you, Neil? I appreciate you. He said I slapped the shit out the mouths of 6 Eagle fans before stopping in. Brother, I'm going to get you a free gallon for that one. Said the 49ers going to find out, the league will. And this is the thing. Like, the 49ers have found out with Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy Garoppolo has been the reason that they have not gotten over the hump. Because remember, they won playoff games with him as the starting quarterback. But in the playoff games he won, In those combined games, he's 1 touchdown to 3 interceptions. So they won games despite not having quarterback play. And, when they actually needed him to make plays for them, he was not able to. That's why they went home in the Super Bowl. That's why they went home, in the NFC Championship game in 2021. Not having a quarterback at all is the reason why they went home last year, because Brock Purdy got hurt. And listen, I will say this for you, Dwayne Brown. At the end of this extension, right? Because Dak Prescott is probably going to sign a 5-year extension, right? He's probably going to sign a 5-year extension, something like that, 4 to 5 years. So at that point, Dak Prescott would have been in the NFL over a decade. You know what I mean? He would have been in the NFL over a decade. If at that point he has not helped us get to an NFC Championship game, if he has not won a Super Bowl, if he has not won an MVP or anything like that, then yeah, it'll be time. It would have naturally ran its course. Because remember, in 5 years, Dak Prescott is going to be 35 years old. So you would have had Dak Prescott his entire career. Because he's 29, he'll be 30 this year. So in 5 years, right, was going to be like the end of that last extension, he's going to be about 35 years old. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At that point, then we can have a conversation about moving on from Dak Prescott, because the man will be 35 at that point. But as for our opportunity to compete right now, as for our opportunity to compete right now at this moment, you need Dak Prescott, because at this moment in time, Dak Prescott is still on pace to have a career similar to Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. He's top 10 in NFL history in several passing stats. He has over 24 franchise records under his belt. So Dak Prescott is your best option for competing right now. So you got to pay him. And then after his contract is over, and listen, after his contract is over, we ain't won shit in Dallas. Dak Prescott might want to go somewhere else and try his luck. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street. He might not even want to be a Cowboy after that. So we'll see. But definitely right now, the option, you're really limited on how you can compete. You need Dak Prescott to compete right now, so you need to pay him, get it over with, and then with the money you save by giving him an extension, you just go ahead and do what you do. Yeah, and then we'll have a different tune about it. Because if he does what we expect him to do, what I'm saying, we expect him to put up great numbers. We expect him to be in the MVP race. We expect him to help us compete for a Super Bowl. If he's able to do that over the course of this, then we can talk about it again 5 years from now. But yeah, you're right. Like, go ahead, pay him now, and then we can have a talk about Dak Prescott, after the contract is over. And that's fair. You've had Dak Prescott. Now this is gonna be his 8th season. 5 years from now, he would have played 13 seasons for you. So you'll know everything you need to know about Dak Prescott after year 13. It said, "I'll go sign Dalvin Cook. Let's load the clip." Listen, the moment they cut him, I'm willing to sign Dalvin Cook. I'm willing to sign him. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, because they do Dallas Cowboys shit, they're going to use the upcoming contracts of Trayvon Diggs, of CeeDee Lamb, of Dak Prescott, and of Michael Parsons, to say they can't sign anybody, right? They always do that shit. But we know, because y'all tap into the liquor store, y'all talk to your numbers, man. You talk to your numbers, man. Right? Y'all know that mathematically the Dallas Cowboys can sign all those guys and then sign somebody else. So let's keep it real. Running backs ain't getting that kind of money right now. No way. Miles Sanders just signed for $6.5 million right now, yearly. James Taylor, man, I holler at you, my boy. I appreciate you for coming in and showing love to the liquor store. Hey, and I feel that, Dwayne Brown. I need 6'2", and I love Dak as well. So, hopefully, everything goes the way we planned it. He helps us win a Super Bowl or two, he can retire Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, I'll give him 2 years, $12 million. Give him $6 million a year. Dalvin Cook is worth $6 million a year. If Tony Pollard is worth $10 million for 1 year, if TP is worth $10 million for a single season, then OG Dalvin Cook, who has run for 1,100 yards or more for the past 4 damn years, is worth $6 million a year. He's worth $6 million a year. Hey, shout out to my brother Dwayne Brown for the $5 donation, my guy. That got you another entry for a Dallas Cowboy jersey. So I appreciate you for the love and support and everything that you do for the show, man. I really do appreciate it. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and add this in. So you now have 9 entries. Mickey, you sent 2 earlier, so you now have 18 entries. So salute to y'all for showing love and support to the channel. I thank y'all. And if y'all want to be like Mickey, you want to be like my brother Dwayne, hit that Cash App. It's $ Hennythemoor, and it will get you an opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey. And remember, make sure to keep supporting the raffles, because we're going to have a fire-ass one next month. We're going to raffle off a ticket to a Dallas Cowboy game. Matter of fact, let me give y'all an update on the poll real quick, since I got y'all on here all together. So let me take a look at my poll, because I'm gonna let y'all choose the actual game, and I had a poll up. Oh wow, okay. So that took off. Looks like it's gonna be the home game against Philadelphia. All right, so instead of the home opener, it will be the home game against Philadelphia, looks like. Hey, shout out to Neil for the $10 donation, man. They got you 2 entries into the Dallas Cowboy jersey raffle on the 31st. So salute to you. I appreciate you for the love and support, and I thank you for helping the channel grow. So yeah, so live look at the poll. So the Jets game got 35%. Right now, Philadelphia is leading the way with 52%. Detroit Lions with 11%, and nobody wants to see the damn Giants, because it looked like the Giants. That's horrible. Look like the Giants. Nope. Hold on. They messed up. It looked like the Giants only got 3% of the votes. So as it stands right now, like, we're going to be raffling off a ticket to the Eagles game. So we get to see the Dallas Cowboys beat the shit out the Eagles live in person, right? So hey, y'all to make sure to keep supporting the raffle, and we'll definitely do the one next month. We pretty much know we know the game now. 52%. There's no way in hell they get caught up on. So it will be the home game against the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be the home game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm so tired of the disrespect towards my quarterback when Josh Allen has identical stats, but he's best thing since. Listen, Josh Allen does not have identical stats, because Josh Allen actually has worse stats than Dak Prescott. Josh Allen has a worse completion percentage. He has a worse passer rating. He has a higher turnover ratio. And what people do not really mention, Dak Prescott only led the NFL in interceptions. Josh Allen led the NFL in overall turnovers. He had more turnovers than anybody else in the league last year, but he gets to go home and sleep soundly at night. He also threw the most red zone interceptions than anybody in the NFL. So, I get it, great running quarterback, has some good playoff performances, but they usually end in losses. He has 2 more playoff wins than Dak Prescott, just as many losses. He went to an AFC championship game and got his ass beat. Went to that's the thing. Like, Josh Allen gets credit for playing well in postseason losses. They talk about his game against Patrick Mahomes. They talk about that outstanding, and it was a great performance, but they lost the game. Dak Prescott, as a rookie, went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers and threw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they don't talk about it because he lost the damn game. He doesn't get no credit for that. But, they up here rubbing on Josh Allen. They up here rubbing on Josh Allen for playing well in a loss. And then they give him credit for making an AFC championship game, even though we went to the AFC championship game and got the doors blown off his ass. Played like dog shit. So it's a double standard. One guy wears the star, one guy does not. You know what I'm saying? And there really is not, like a pedigree of having to win a championship to be a good Buffalo quarterback. Jim Kelly was a Hall of Fame quarterback that lost 4 Super Bowls, right? So that is the legacy in Buffalo. All he has to do is be a good quarterback and play well. He does not necessarily have to even be a winning quarterback, in the postseason or win a Super Bowl to get love from his franchise. Because the Dallas Cowboys are a team that has 6 championships over the lifetime of their franchise, because we won 3 titles in the 90s, because Roger Staubach played here, because Troy Aikman played here, there's a different level of expectation at the quarterback position for the Dallas Cowboys. It may not be fair, but it's just the truth. So, I get it. Like, these other guys do less and get more praise, but it is what it is. Hey, shout out to my boy JC Cowboys Network tapping in, showing love to the channel, man. I salute to you, my brother. Keep making that fire-ass content, man, and I appreciate you for the support and love that you show as well, my boy. I really do. So, yeah, man. So, it is what it is in that regard. We're going to move along because, I've been doing a lot of rambling. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of rambling. So let's take a look at the next one. Because we were talking about, because we were writing about Stephon Jones. Okay. He made a bunch of comments. He said Stephon Jones doesn't see Michael Parsons' position, defensive end / linebacker, impacting his next contract. No, Micah is a great player. He's a great defensive football player. Whether he gets 10 plus sacks a year at linebacker or defensive end, I don't think it's a big difference. Micah is kind of a hybrid player. That what makes him great. He's versatile. So, we'll see. Yes, it was, man. We had a great show last time. I will let you know, man. Like, the moment I find some free time, I will let you know. We're going to rock out, man. No, we're going to rock out. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I try, my boy. I try. So, do I believe him? Well, this is the thing. Normally, the Dallas Cowboys, try and bend their players over. No Vaseline. Just go to Pound Town over. Just bend them over. Just violate them. I don't necessarily think, I don't necessarily think the front office feel like they can do that to Michael Parsons. Like, Michael Parsons already says and does a lot of things they don't agree with, and he does not give a damn. We already said Michael Parsons is so much of his own person. He's not really a company guy. He said whatever comes to his mind. He got Twitter fingers. You know what I'm saying? So it's dangerous to even play with Michael Parsons like that. And if you look at his overall snap count, like, he's already attached to the defensive line, more than he is as a linebacker. Over 700 snaps attached to the line, under 200 snaps as a true linebacker. And even in a lot of his linebacking snaps, he was rushing the passer. So, I think that it's going to work out in our favor. I think that they will pay Michael Parsons. I think that Michael Parsons is not the guy to play with. I think they realize that. So, it's and listen, like, I know that things change. I know that things change. They still might try Michael. When push comes to shove, they still might try Michael Parsons. I think they'll live to regret it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Parsons, integral piece of your defense, probably the best defensive player in the National Football League, once in a generation kind of player. So they play with Michael Parsons at their own risk. But Michael Parsons is well liked around the league. There would be a bunch of guys recruiting him if he was ever to sniff free agency. So, get it done. Just get it done. Get it done. And because of his snap count, because he has lined up as a defensive end so much, I wonder if that in itself will affect his tag, regardless of his destination. I had to look at the CBA and see how that is set up, because I think realistically, if you play a certain number of snaps at a position, I think they automatically include you, you know, in that tag. I got to do my research and see if that's true, but I think he's played defensive end, quote unquote, so much I don't think it actually matters what his designation is going forward, because he played a certain amount of pass rushing snaps. They might go ahead and have no choice but to consider him a pass rusher. And the man has over 26 sacks in his first 2 seasons. You know, you get what you paid for. You haven't had that kind of player in a very long time. You haven't had that kind of production from a pass rusher since DeMarcus Ware. So, you know, Dallas Cowboys could play with Michael Parsons, but I doubt it. That is a dangerous game to play with them boys. Very dangerous game. Yeah, it sounds like Jones woo-woo. Like, you know, hopefully, you know, they're taking a new step. They're not trying to finesse and squeeze every penny. Because sometimes you just got to understand the price of doing business is the price of doing business. You're not going to get another Michael Parsons anytime soon. So if he walk out that door, you make him unhappy, disgruntled, he try to force a trade, things like that, you're not going to replace him. You're not. And then, you know, because he is such a well-known, well-liked figure in the NFL already, it's going to impact your ability. Yeah, he actually has more. He actually has more sacks than D Ware his first 2 seasons. He said almost the same number of sacks over 2 years, like our win. Yeah, like, bro, we won 24 games. This man got 26 sacks. That is crazy. And listen, like I pointed that out, he has more sacks his first 2 seasons of his career than DeMarcus Ware did. DeMarcus Ware did not even start like this. So let's take a look at what DeMarcus Ware did. So DeMarcus Ware, over his first 2 seasons, he had 8 sacks his rookie year, and then he had 11.5 sacks his second year. He did not even crack the 13 sack barrier until his 3rd year in the league. So his first 2 seasons in the NFL, DeMarcus Ware had 19.5 sacks. So DeMarcus Ware only had 19.5 sacks his first 2 years in the NFL. When you compare that to what Michael Parsons is currently doing, right? Let's go pull up Michael Parsons' sack numbers. Michael Parsons has 26.5 sacks through his first 2 years, compared to 19.5 by DeMarcus Ware. So he has 7 more sacks than DeMarcus Ware over the course of his first 2 seasons. So, you know, if we're just talking about comparisons, because DeMarcus Ware is one of the all-time pass rushing greats in the NFL and one of the all-time pass rushing greats for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, Michael Parsons is already on a better trajectory than DeMarcus Ware. I don't know if he'll have 14 sacks this year like DeMarcus Ware did his 3rd year. I don't know if he'll have 20 sacks in year 4 like DeMarcus Ware did. But as of right now, he is on a better trajectory than DeMarcus Ware was. He's on a better trajectory than OG DeMarcus Ware. So, don't play with him. Don't play with him. He said this could be a 25 sack. Listen, if Michael Parsons gets 25 sacks, he's a $30 million defensive. He is a $30 million a year defensive player. If he gets 25 sacks in a single season, let's see. Let me see. What is the NFL record? Most sacks in a single season. 22.5 sacks is the most sacks in a single season, and that mark was set by Michael Strahan in 2001. If Michael Parsons gets 25 sacks in a single year, If Michael Parsons gets 25 sacks in a single year, then he's going to rewrite the history books. He's going to be a $30 million a year player, and you have no choice but not to play with that man. He can't get the sack record for a single season and then get treated like a linebacker. Like the national play, listen, not only is that going to, run afoul with Michael Parsons in his camp, it is also going to run afoul with the National Football League Player Association. Like they're going to go crazy. They try to do Michael Parsons like that, and this man, got all them damn sacks. They're gonna treat the Dallas Cowboys like they've been participating in child labor laws or some shit. Yeah, he has the athletic ability to do it, and with more opportunities to rush the passer and having better pass rushers around him, like damn, that's gonna be crazy to watch. He said, I think quarterbacks are gonna try Diggs with Gilly Lock. Listen, if they try Diggs is gonna have another season like he did in 2021. So they're gonna start back talking about yards given up, but he's gonna have like another season with like 10 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? If they throw at Diggs like that, like him, like if you like to listen, like some people don't like the way the Diggs play. He does gamble. He does not have perfect. He does not have perfect mechanics all the time. But he has a wide receiver background. He has great hands. And then, if you try Diggs, he's going to get double-digit interceptions. Like, you might be able to take advantage of his aggressive nature with double moves and this, that, and the third. He might play a little bit too much trail technique at times. But if you try Diggs, he's going to have another season with 10, 11 sacks. 9 at the least. So if they throw at Diggs like they did in 2021 to try and throw away from Stephon Gilmore, then he's going to have anywhere between 9. He said, you think Diggs or cornerback number 1? I think Diggs is our youngest, most talented corner right now. Stephon Gilmore is still a great cornerback. And I'm going to put it to it like this. They can be 1A and 1B. You ain't got to even call them. You ain't even got to call them like cornerback 1, cornerback 2. You got 2 all pros. Like these, you may think that Stephon Gilmore is a better coverage guy, and then you can say Diggs is the better guy getting turnovers. They still both cornerback 1s. You know what I mean? So even if you think that Stephon Gilmore is a better coverage guy, and Diggs is the better guy getting your hands on the ball, they both all pros. They both cornerback 1s have been cornerback 1s their entire careers. So you really have a great problem. Like, man, if Stephon Gilmore go out there and outperform Stephon Diggs, then you have a great problem, boy. Oh my God. If Gilly play like that, then like, man, I can guarantee you're gonna probably go to you're gonna go to the NFC Championship game bare minimum. Because teams already couldn't throw against you really last year. You didn't even really have a cornerback 2 after Anthony Brown got hurt. So then you gotta factor in the fact Deron Bland got his hand on a lot of balls last year too. He had 5 interceptions. Diggs had 11 interceptions last time they tried him. Stephon Gilmore was a former defensive player of the year. So you really do not have anywhere to go with the ball. Teams might get desperate and try and get lined up on one of our safeties at this point. They might try to make mismatches with our safeties because they damn sure are not going to be able to go out there and throw against our damn secondary like that, against our cornerbacks. Like shit, we probably got the best tandem of corners in the National Football League. We probably got the best tandem. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, lie to you, gas you up. Like I really feel that way. Yeah, they say anything toward the sideline is going out of bounds because the quarterback ain't gonna want to get picked. Yeah, man, y'all, you got some playmakers out there. I really wish that we had Gilly for 2 years. I wish the Gilly situation was the same as the Brandon Cooks situation. I love that Brandon Cooks is going to be on your roster for at least the next 2 seasons. I would take another year of Stephon Gilmore, especially at the right price. I would love to get Stephon Gilmore, and then we can bring along another cornerback behind him. You know what I mean? So I would love for that to happen. I would love that. So let's see. What other quotes do we have? So I think we're out of the Stephon Jones quotes because I didn't get that many. I just talked about what I talked about in regards. Oops, I didn't want that to fall. My damn light almost fell over. Y'all forgive me. I think Gilly's like 31, 32. Let me take a look. Google's your friend. Like, I ain't got to even guess. Stephon Gilmore is 32 years old. So he's still serviceable. He's still serviceable. Because remember, what was the boy name that played cornerback forever? Shit, I forget the boy. Terrence Newsom. Terrence Newsom played cornerback. He's like 37 years old. So like shit, Stephon Gilmore fine. He's not too old. And remember, people don't talk about this, but Stephon Gilmore was a top 10 rated cornerback last year. You know, people be forgetting because the Colts were horrible, but they forget he still had a 2 interception season. He still barely gave up any yardage or touchdowns. He still was elite in coverage. So people be forgetting about that. Oh, you know, it is what it is, man. Like you got 2 top 10 cornerbacks on, you know, as your tandem right now. So I like that. I like our odds. Yeah, I think he'll play at a high level till he like 34, 35, man. Like Gilly got like 2 or 3 more years left in him. Right? And because he is so technically sound, because you know he knows the ins and outs of every offensive set you could throw at him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been around the block playing a lot of football, like even as his athleticism starts to leave him, he is still going to be a very good corner because he has good technique, because he knows his cues, he knows what the offense is probably going to throw at him from being a film study junkie. He has a lot left in the tank. You know, cerebral cornerbacks last a lot longer than guys that rely purely on their athletic ability. And while Stephon Gilmore was a very good athlete when he came to the league, he was also one of the best guys in film study, one of the best guys in preparation, one of the best guys in understanding, you know, offensive formations. You know, he reads his keys. He where he's supposed to be. He gets the right depth when he plays zone. He know how to play great bump and run coverage to neutralize some of the faster targets that he's gonna get lined up on. So like Stephon Gilmore is going to be good for multiple more years. I say Stephon Gilmore is still going to be a very good cornerback for the next 2 to 3 years. Hey, let me know how that works out, man, because I definitely have some questions for him if you're able to pull that off. You don't even necessarily got to get me on the show, but I will be in the chat box asking a ton of questions. So let me know, because I'm definitely going to tune in. Or I'm a politic and try to get my ass on there. So salute to my brother JC and all his endeavors, man. Salute to my boy. Cowboys going beast mode this season. Can't wait to see them on the field. Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I definitely do agree with that. So I already ran through these Stephon Jones quotes. So I'm actually going to put up something about Michael Gallup. But while we're doing that, I'm actually going to go ahead and share the content to a couple more platforms so they can know the liquor store is still open. You know what I'm saying? We're going to rock out for a little bit longer than usual tonight. You know, my wife has already went to sleep on me. She had a very long, trying day. So I'm going to go ahead. He said, nope, I'll have you on my show. That's love right there, my boy. I appreciate that, my brother. So let's take a look. So let me share this to a couple more spots. Yeah, my wife already abandoned me. She ain't putting up with my foolishness tonight. She took her ass to sleep. So with that said, you know, we're going to rock out for a little bit longer. So let me share this to a couple more platforms so they'll know the liquor store is open for business. And then we're going to talk about what I have up there on the screen. And I'm happy to hear that from my boy Michael Gallup. If y'all can read it, y'all understand what it says, you know, I'm happy for that boy. That he feels that way, he feels so strongly. But give me 2 seconds. We'll talk about it in depth. I got it shared and let's go. Okay. So as it says right here, Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup said he's very confident this year he'll be the player he was before his knee injury. It just feels different. I'm smiling every time I walk in that facility. There was a loss of confidence last year. I was thinking too much. My knee was sore. End the quote. Take it off the screen. So, with that said, that really is positive news. We do know usually with ACL injuries, it's not the year that they actually come back. It's usually the year after that a player starts to feel like them old selves again. He said he still felt gimpy. So for the rest of the quote, he said he felt gimpy. He said he had knee soreness still. He was overthinking it. He said he feel like he has more spring now. So Michael Gallup, if he returns to form, that is beautiful. Because, we were at one point talking about Jalen Tolbert, pushing Michael Gallup off of a cliff. And like Dwayne Brown said, he was more worried about his injury. That's why I gave him a pass. I believe that. It takes time, from a physical standpoint and from a mental standpoint to get over, getting a knee injury like that. Like, believe me, I tore both my ACLs. I broken my left leg. I've torn both my ACLs. It takes time before you feel like you can jump. It takes time before you feel like you can run without your knee buckling up from under you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a mental aspect to that too. You just don't have your knee blow out, and then you go back out there running around other men, landing awkwardly, jumping over grown men, doing this and doing that, and not think about it. So, because he's feeling better, because he's another year removed from having surgery, we can expect better things from Michael Gallup. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to keep it real with you. Michael Gallup has been injured the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because in 2021, before he even tore his ACL, he had an injury that kept him out multiple weeks then, right before then. And then, he missed some time, but then he was still gimped from recovering from ACL surgery this year. So this is going to be the first time, in almost 3 years that Michael Gallup has been completely healthy, feels confident in his lower body, feel confident in his ability. So, we're going to give him an opportunity. And as we already know, whether it's fair or not, Michael Gallup is in position to where he will be playing for his contract. He will be playing for his NFL future, because the Dallas Cowboys still have an out in Michael Gallup's contract, despite of the restructure, despite them moving some money around. They still have an out in his contract next offseason. So if Michael Gallup does not live up to the contract, if he does not live up to the Dallas Cowboys' overall expectations for him, we can see Michael Gallup in a different uniform pretty soon. So Michael Gallup wishes to remain a Dallas Cowboy. He will have to, go out there and play up to his contract. No, I actually myself said, because he is probably going to be regulated to the third option, I don't think there's a realistic opportunity for him to live up to his contract. So, because let me put this into perspective. He is your highest paid wide receiver this year. He's going to make more money this season than Brandon Cooks. He's going to make more money this season than CeeDee Lamb. So he's your highest paid wide receiver. He is at best your third option. He is at best going to be your third leading wide receiver. So I don't necessarily think even with a better season, he's going to be able to live up to that contract, but he might be able to play well enough where the Dallas Cowboys will overlook it. You know what I'm saying? If he gives you about 700 yards, 7 to 8 touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be able to live with that, right? Because we expect Brandon Cooks to probably threaten to get to 1,000 yards. We feel that CeeDee Lamb probably gonna have another 1,100 yard or better season, because he's topped 1,100 yards the last 2 seasons. So if he could be your third option, he can give you about 700 yards. He can give you about 7-8 touchdowns. He can stay healthy. He can make the contested catches. He could be a jump ball guy. He might be able to live up to his contract and save his job in Dallas. And all that's going to be predicated on his ability to get out there on the field, trust his knee, and do this and do that. They said they might trade him before the trading deadline to give the other guys a chance. Let me check the dead money. It depends on the dead money. If there's too much dead money tied up in trying to move on from him, then he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy for at least this season. If there's not a big dead money hit for trading him, then he'll stay. So let me check the money real quick, and I'll be able to tell you the logistics of that. So we'll see. Let me give me 2 seconds, and I'll actually check on that real quick. Okay. So we know he signed a 5-year, $57.5 million deal. All right, his contract after restructures, I'm getting it pulled up. So for the 2022 season, Michael Gallup, for the 2022 season, Michael Gallup, 2023 season, I'm sorry. Let's take a look. Hold on. Cause that's both track. I need to see over the cap. Here we go. They have the exact breakdown. Okay. So 2023. If you trade him after June the 1st, anytime during the regular season, you will save $2.4 million, but you will still owe him $4.3 million. You'll have $4.3 million in dead money moving on from him then. All right. So let's go here. So next year, though, if he is a post June 2nd cut, you'll save $9.5 million and you'll only owe him $4.3 in dead money for that year. So you save quite a bit of money that way. But as for trading him right now, you don't really benefit from it. So he's going to be safe this year. He's going to be safe this year, just judging by the dead money. Now, you never know. If the Dallas Cowboys want to eat enough dead money, they can move on from anybody. But them being penny pinchers, them being guys who do not want to damage the salary cap in any way, shape, or form, because they monitor the salary cap more than any other damn team I know. I don't expect them to go against their status quo and trade him away when it means damaging the salary cap going forward. So expect Michael Gallup to stay on the team for at least this season, and for him to get an opportunity to at least earn some of his contract. He can at least earn some of it. Not sure he can entirely live up to it, but whatever. That's neither here nor there at this point. I just hope Michael Gallup is able to contribute. I hope he's able to be a viable receiving option. Because listen, I can't do another year of Michael Gallup not getting 500 yards. I love Michael Gallup. He has a great story overcoming where he came from. But dog, I need 500 yards or better from any damn wide receiver that line up for me. I need that. Don't play with me like that. I need that. All right. So Q&A real quick, man, before we get off of here. We're gonna do some questions. Y'all can ask questions. I'm gonna answer y'all, and then we'll do that for a little while. And once people start trickling out, then we'll end the stream. So how do y'all feel, man? What are some questions y'all want to ask? Are there any particular teams y'all worried about playing this year? Are there any particular players that y'all are looking forward to seeing during training camp? Are there any particular things that you want to know about the new offensive system? Are there any particular defensive players you want to know, or how they fit into this defensive scheme, what their role would be, who they'll be competing against in training camp, right? If you have any questions like that, please put it in the chat box. I will answer all of them. Like I said, y'all took the time out y'all day to come in here and chop it up with me about what I wanted to talk about in regard to the Cowboys. I will take time out my day to do the same for y'all. So let's get it. What y'all want to know? What y'all want to talk about? Any questions, concerns, this, that, or the third? My boy Fitz said he ain't going nowhere. They in the liquor store. I know that's right. I just want to see Boss Man Fat take this opportunity to learn from Gilmore. Listen, I want to see Boss Man Fat move to the safety room because the skill sets that make Boss Man Fat a good NFL player. I'm not talking about what he's shown in college. I'm talking about what I've seen from him in the NFL. The things that he has done well up to this point in the NFL are things that safeties do. He's a good tackler. He's a sound tackler. He's physical. You know, he's athletic enough to run, you know, with these tight ends and erase them. You know, so I think it might save his career moving over to safety, especially when you think about the upheaval at the safety position. You know, I think it suits him. You know what I'm saying? Great run defender, great tackler. Has been getting his ass torn up in coverage. So, you know, if you're a defensive back, you can't really cover, you're probably a safety. And remember, I do understand. He said, I'm talking about learning how to be a pro and stop making mixtapes. Now, listen, Cole Beasley made mixtapes and CDs, and his ass made an all-pro team. You know what I mean? So, like, it's all about your work ethic. So I agree with that. You know, I do agree with that. Like, he can learn how to be a professional from Stephon Gilmore. He can learn film study. You know, he can learn the traits that make him, you know, to this day, after over a decade in the NFL, one of the top players in his position. Like, he can learn those type of things. Yeah, indeed, my brother, indeed. Yeah, I listen. I've been very hard on Boss Man Fat. I've said some discouraging things I probably should not have said about Boss Man Fat. He's still a very young guy. You know, he's really and listen, overall he's a successful young man. He got drafted in the second round. He plays for one of the most prominent teams in the NFL. He's an NFL player. You know what I mean? I've been very hard on him because, you know, he did not play particularly well. But, you know, there's no reason for me to drag him, tear him down, call him outside of his name. And I've done a lot of that. So, you know, if you hear me out there, Kelvin Joseph, my apologies. You know, like I listen, I really cut about the Dallas Cowboys shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing things that I feel are preventing my team from winning, you know what I'm saying? I have things to say about it. But how I went about saying it is unbecoming, especially for a young man that is still on our team. So, you know, I will support Boss Man as long as he's here. As long as he's here on the roster, I hope that he plays better. I hope, you know, that he is able to develop. I'm hoping that he's able to prove his doubters wrong, you know, namely me. So, you know, salute to him. Do I think the Dallas Cowboys defense can hold teams to under 17 or 18 points? Yes, I do. Matter of fact, let's take a look at our scoring defense from last year. So last season, the Dallas Cowboys held teams to 19.7 points per game. That was good for the sixth best scoring defense in the National Football League. Right? So, and that's even better than 2021. In 2021, the Dallas Cowboys held teams to 21 points per game. So the Dallas Cowboys held teams to under 3 touchdowns per game. Teams averaged under 20 points against us. The best team in the league last year in terms of defense was San Francisco, and they allowed 17.2. So I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys can hold teams, you know, to under 18 points, under 17 points. Listen, I'm not going to necessarily say I saw his potential because I was one of the guys that wanted Asante Samuel Jr. And in hindsight, it's always 2020. But when you look back on it, we could have also got Nick Bolton. And yes, listen, I want to apologize we're talking about his character, if we're talking about the person. Now his play was ass. I'm never gonna back down on that. He has not played well. He has not earned a spot, from these other defensive backs. He has not played better than the Run Bland. He has not played better, than a lot of these other young guys. You know what I'm saying? He has not played better than a lot of our other young defensive backs. So, I'm not giving him a pass for that. But with the way I talked about him, like he wasn't a child of God or shit like that, that's what I'm going to apologize about. But yeah, his play on the field though, I'm always talk about his play on the field. You're not playing well. I got to say something about that shit. I got to say something about that. He played like ass, but it does not mean he will forever be ass. I hope to God that he gets his shit together. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just trying to speak some words of encouragement to a young dude. Just because you ain't been playing well up to this point, does not mean that you cannot turn it around. There's still time, boss man. There's still time. Prove people wrong. Go out there, focus on your craft. Go out there and learn from the veterans on your team. Go out there and campaign. If you feel like you will be a better safety, go and campaign to the safety coach and the position coaches to be put in position to be successful. But don't just sit on your ass, continue to play bad, and end up out the league. Because that will happen to you. This is your golden opportunity, especially with everything, that's been circling around you. We know about the outfield thing that happened. So you may not get another opportunity in the NFL if you get cut from the Dallas Cowboys because you ain't played well. You dropping mixtapes. You got other baggage surrounding you legally. Even though that's been resolved at this point. Other teams might be a little hesitant to giving you an opportunity. So I'm just saying, don't get cut, boy. Don't get cut. This NFL check ain't for a lifetime. My boy said send a link. I definitely am going to stay on here then. Since West Coast talk about send a link, I'm going to send a link to my brother. West Coast, it's in your inbox now. It's in your inbox right now. So just tap on in, man. I'm gonna put you into the show, my brother. So West Coast Cowboys should be joining us fairly shortly. So it looks like we're gonna be on here about another hour or so. So let's dig in, man. Let's do this. I need everybody to go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button again. Oh shit, West Coast said let's just start a new one. Okay, well, hey, y'all don't leave. Turn your notification button on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let West Coast in so we can do another show. So I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna bring him in. All right, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna bring him in. I'll be back up in about 5 minutes. So the liquor store is not closing. We're taking an inventory break. I gotta get another fire-ass content creator in here with me. So we're gonna do a quick little inventory break. I'll be back in no later than 5 minutes, maybe not even that. So keep your eyes glued to the tube. I'll be right back. I'm not even gonna give my departing speech. I'll be back in a couple seconds. So tune